So I want to talk about preparing a surface with gesso. So gesso is a substance that we put over a substrate, a canvas, paper, a board, to prepare it for receiving the paint. It creates an even, consistent surface, and it prevents the support from absorbing the paint. So traditionally, gessos were made from animal glues, chalk, and white paint. The common gesso these days has an acrylic resin in it with the white paint and some kind of filler like chalk or silica. And it can be used to prepare surfaces to accept oils as well. But we are priming our papers so that we can make them a bit tougher. And with acrylic and mixed medium, I find that we do so much stuff to the paper, we throw so much work at it. We draw on it, we paint on it, we might collage onto it, we might scrape it. It's really great to have a tough paper, and it also allows you to work on all kinds of different papers. So you can gesso a fairly inexpensive paper and gesso it on both sides, seal it really well, and then you have a really archival surface to work on. So today I'm going to be gessoing just a piece of 250 gram drawing paper, Stonehenge drawing paper. It's a little less heavy than a 140 pound watercolor paper. And I don't like to use my watercolor paper for this purpose. If I'm just going to gesso over it, we're kind of losing what we pay for with a watercolor paper, which is its beautiful surface that interacts in that very special way with watercolor. So I'm just going to be gessoing on both sides a piece of drawing paper. So I just often use a brush to gesso a canvas. So here's my gesso, and you can just spread it on with a big wide brush. Doesn't have to be an art brush, could be just a hardware brush. And I don't usually worry too much about getting it super smooth. Some painters like to buy gessoed canvas and then put more gesso or raw canvas and put their layers of gesso on themselves, because that allows them to really control the surface. So if you want a really smooth surface, you can put down a layer of gesso, sand it, put down another layer of gesso. If you want just a little bit of gesso on a surface, you can water it down. So this is just a tray with gesso right out of the jar. This is the jar of gesso that I have. And I could water that down a little bit. Just add a little bit of spray to it to water it down a little. Makes it a little less sticky. You can really use it thick and create some texture. Like right now I've got some brush texture on here. Or you can use it thinner and use other tools to spread it, like a foam roller. That's quick, unfussy. Whatever gets the gesso on there quickly and efficiently is a good idea as far as I'm concerned. Or you can put some gesso down on the paper and just use a squeegee to pull it really quickly across the paper. And then when I'm finished this side, when it's covered in gesso and dry, then I'll flip it over to the other side. And it's good to gesso on both sides, because otherwise you've got a different surface on one side than the other, and the paper will start to curl up. So that's some quick ideas for preparing a piece of paper with gesso.